Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're dialing in from. Welcome to Aforza's webinar for premium spirits on how to drive real-time next best action from a single photo with AVA, which stands for Aforza Vertical AI. And actually you can see AVA there front and center on the screen. Now we've got an exciting agenda today. We're going to start off with a really quick introduction to Aforza to anyone who is new to Aforza. Then we're going to quickly touch on the 3 or 4 main challenges that we're seeing, that you're seeing in your industry today. And then we're going to jump into the solution, and I'll give a proper introduction to Ava, everything that she can do within her remit, the business value that she drives, and then we're going to jump into the really exciting part, the demonstrations. And I'll show you in real time how a rep visiting a customer in the on-trade for premium spirits can get a briefing on what they should be doing from Ava, and how they can simply capture a photo and be told exactly what they need to do by Ava, all in the moment, which is where it actually matters. And then we'll finish off with some reasons to believe, some customer case studies, and then some Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions whilst I'm presenting, whilst I'm demoing, then please just fire them into the Q&A chat here. They're all anonymous, so no one else can see your questions, but please fire them in. I'll do my best to answer them at the end. So, quick introduction to Aforza. Who are we and why do we exist? So we are an industry cloud company dedicated to your industry. So consumer goods, and specifically spirits and premium spirits. So if you look on the left here, across the bottom in that nice teal platform, we are built on the shoulders of 2 cloud computing giants. That's Salesforce and Google Cloud, where we do all of our number crunching and advanced, TPM, algorithms and engines. We also leverage some incredible different models, such as from OpenAI, and we have mobile and tablet applications, which you're about to see on iOS and Android. So really, we can cater for everyone, anywhere around the world. Now, slightly above that platform, in that hot pink, we have AVA, which stands for Aforza Vertical AI. So that's AI specific to your industry. And we've kind of illustrated this as a platform here because really it elevates every single one of those personas that you can see there. So from key account managers to brand ambassadors, technical reps, merchandisers, even telesales, TPM, you name it, everyone is elevated by Aforza's Vertical AI, AVA. And you're going to see all of this in action in the demonstration. So what do we do at Aforza? So we connect your entire route to market, from your manufacturer, as yourselves, brands, principals, all the way down through distributors, field teams, to the end retailer, and ultimately the end customer. And we're really excited to have extended our DMS, that's distributor management and integration capabilities, with a Aforza bridge there. So that's complete visibility across all of your indirect channels. So that's the integration and the data transfers between manufacturers, principals like yourselves, and the retailers, the distributors. In fact, next week, we actually have another webinar on this to give you a bit more specific insights into Aforza Bridge specifically for distributors for that webinar. So if you're interested, or if anyone in your team is interested, please do sign up. Just head to the Aforza website and you'll see there'll be a link that'll appear to join that webinar. Now, we're also trusted by alcohol leaders globally, like yourselves. So I can see we've got a number of Aforza customers actually on this webinar. Good to see everybody. And to anyone who is new to Aforza, welcome if this is your first webinar. We've got some brilliant customers all around the globe. And actually, I think I heard this the other day, that the sun doesn't actually set on Aforza. So 24/7, someone is using Aforza all around the world to drive value and kind of execute at the highest standards in spirits. Now, before we jump into the solution and demonstration, just want to touch on 3 or 4 of the main challenges that we've seen in your industry today, and I'll be fast. I don't want to be don't want to be dour here. The first one being that assortments are misaligned to the actual location. So we all know that premium spirits are in high demand, and we've got some statistics here to back that up. But ultimately, brands are failing to capture value in a lot of locations because the right products are not consistently available or prioritized in the right outlets. So we can see pretty much half of on-premise consumers are choosing spirits when they drink. So spirits is actually the leading on-premise category in any kind of alcohol beverage. And almost 70% of consumers are more willing to pay for higher quality spirits. This is the important part, if they are available. So what does that mean? It means that the demand and the willingness to trade up is strong, but when you have misranged assortments and poor outlet prioritization, it's blocking your growth at the point of sale. Now, all of these challenges kind of combine together to paint this pretty pretty challenging picture here. The second one is that we know our customers, they want to buy premium spirits, they want to have that premium experience, but the serve standards are breaking down where those decisions are actually made. So premium spirits are losing credibility and trade up potential because those serve standards are executed inconsistently on premise in outlet. So 47% of consumers say they're very likely to pay extra for a better quality drink, as we know, but only if it feels premium. And half of consumers are saying that bartenders are influencing their drink choice, which also makes staff confidence, their training, their execution absolutely critical. So what does this mean? It means that even when the right product is present, so even if you solve challenge one, getting the right product in the right location, poor execution is silently destroying your premium value behind the bar. So you need staff advocates, you need them trained so that they are presenting the brand and giving that premium feel every second of the day. Now, the final challenge is that brand storytelling is failing at the last mile. So this continues on from challenge 2 in a way, that bartenders and retail staff in the off trade are lacking the tools and confidence to consistently tell brand stories and recommend those premium serves. Now, these stats are pretty huge here. You can see the source there in the bottom right. 91% of bartenders are likely to recommend a brand if they feel fully supported by the supplier or the brand. If they've got the right material, if they've got the right training, the right the right merchandise, even branded glassware, whatever it may be. If they feel supported, they will recommend that brand. And we know how important that is when consumers are making that choice. Now, 88% of bartenders, obviously this is more specific for the on-trade, recommend a spirit every shift. And no advocacy means that your competitors are winning. So what does this all mean? This means every minute, every second really, is a recommendation moment all around the world. We've got some fantastic global brands on the webinar here today. If your brand isn't top of mind and confidently understood by the staff, your competitors are winning the pour and you're losing premium trade up. Now, these are 3 pretty big challenges that you're all facing today, but they're compounded when your teams are using outdated information to make decisions about what they should be doing for each of your customers that you're visiting in the on-trade, in the off-trade. Let's look at a scenario here. Let's say a photo or some information is captured in the field or it's uploaded at the end of day. So after the visits, at the end of the day, when one of your field reps comes back from their work. Now, perhaps the next day or even that evening or overnight, it's manually loaded into a data lake or some central repository where you keep all of your data, customer information, and your targets and objectives. Now, those results, if you even have this kind of capability, are processed in something like a next best action engine. And that might take a day or two. It might take weeks or months. But that rep will then go back to the next visit with a suggestion of what they should be doing for that customer. But it's completely outdated. And as we know, premium brands, they win in the moment, every second, every minute. And this is how premium brands are quietly losing millions. As we know, they win in the moment. So assortment, serve quality, and storytelling are changing daily. So when your insights are arriving days later, you're losing trade up. You're losing that advocacy and that long-term brand equity. But it's not all doom and gloom, because we have directly solved for all of these challenges, all of these pains within Aforza. And we've done it in a few different ways. So first of all, I'd like to introduce you properly now to Ava, Aforza Vertical AI. So she's the world's leading vertical AI coach for the spirits industry. She helps every team member work faster, work smarter, and with complete confidence. She delivers measurable productivity gains from day one, and she never stops learning. You know, she never is sick, never takes PTO, never sleeps. She's on 24/7 helping all of your team members. She helps them do the right thing every time, even on their worst day. Ava absolutely brings up the standard for everyone. And actually, you can see some great case studies of Aforza customers here, where Ava has helped deliver 50% productivity in every single visit. So some pretty amazing case studies and stats here. Now, what Ava does is bring real-time intelligence specifically for spirits. So Ava's what's called multimodal. And what does that mean? It means Ava can understand multiple forms of information. So she can understand a photo, completely unstructured data, understand a video. She can understand connections to other systems, you know, CRMs, information through APIs. She can understand PDFs, contracts, emails, information through a portal. So she understands that data in all of its glorious unstructured or structured format. And then she applies what's called scenario interpretation. So let's think of two examples here. One is not scenario interpretation, and number two with Ava is. So number one would be you capture a photo of a back bar and you use some sort of technology to detect all of the products that are on the back bar. So you've got two of your premium brands there. You've got your 18 double cask. You've got your 25-year-old whiskey, whatever it may be, it's on the back bar. It's been detected and that is stored. That's great. Now that is essentially, you know, image recognition, product detection. Now Ava then applies scenario interpretation. So this example is where Ava detects all of those products. She detects your products on the shelf in the back bar, but Ava understands the situation. So she knows that actually that premium 25-year-old whiskey there should not be at this location. It shouldn't be there. And she also knows that we're actually missing 3 or 4 different products that should be there, as well as some merchandise on the bar, because she knows there is a promotion contract running for this 6 months at this specific location, or even at the parent account that might own this specific chain of bars, and she knows that there's missing promotions. So Ava understands the entire scenario, and that's just one example. There are literally thousands that we can provide here. But Ava goes a step even further than that. She actually applies real-time automation to that. So from that photo, she could then generate in-outlet actions, recommendations for whoever's in the field visiting that customer. And that's actually what I'm going to show you today in the demonstration in just a moment. But she could also do things like auto order some merchandise, some glassware, some bar mats for this particular location. She can block payments, adjust funds and allocate different budgets for different promotions based on what's actually happening in the field at that point in time. Ava can really do almost anything, and actually there's not really enough space on the screen to fit to fit all of the different scenarios that Ava can cater for. And that's actually why we've created an Ava library. So it's a catalog of use cases, vertical AI use cases for the spirits industry and more. And it's available today. I'll share a QR code at the end of this webinar, but we've done it by persona, so field teams, even from HQ perspective, so sales managers, key account managers. We do it for trade planning. Actually, during this, I'll quickly show you how Ava not only operates in the field, you know, for a premium spirits rep, but we can also see it for a trade planner or a key account manager, looking at how Ava can kind of support during that planning process. Now, Let's jump to the demonstration. So what are you going to see here? You're going to see a few different steps, really short, sharp, and fast. You're going to see Ava giving me a field premium spirits rep, giving me a pre-visit briefing, so telling me what I should be doing at this customer based on external information, based on the previous visit, all of this customer's history. You're going to see me guided to capture a photo, and then you're going to see how that is analyzed by Ava with that scenario interpretation so that Ava can tell me the next best action, what I should present, how I should communicate with this customer, what's important at this moment in time to help us get that brand advocacy and to increase our brand equity in this particular location. So what does that mean? I mean, Ava processes and shares key information with me before my visit. She tells me what I need to do from a single photo and then surfaces the perfect assets for me to strengthen that brand advocacy. And Ava actually writes the data back. So anything I've captured, anything that I've done within this visit, Ava can understand and actually update this customer or update other teams with that information. Pretty amazing stuff. So right now I am on my tablet. That's a Aforza field, available for tablets, for mobiles, iOS and Android. So if I was on my mobile, it'd be a slightly different view here. And I'm visiting the Amber and Oak Bar in London. And I can see the location here. I can see some specific digital assets that are available for me to present and access. And these could be even kind of sales methodologies, tips and tricks for a field rep like myself. And I can see Ava has given me some customer insights. So things that I should know based on my last visit, the account balance, stuff like that. Whatever is important for you, you can have here on this home screen, which is highly configurable. Now, I'm going to check in, and it's captured my geolocation, started a timer so we know exactly how long I'm spending here and what's going on. Of course, you can turn this off for certain markets where you don't need this kind of tracking. In the top right, I can see I can get an Ava pre-visit briefing. So when I click here, Ava is pulling information from multiple sources, all of that contextual information she has on this account, and she's giving it to me in a really easy to digest format. So she can actually see that recent TripAdvisor and Google reviews are highlighting disappointment from customers expecting Obsidian Veil 18, which is one of our brands for today, which is still listed on the menu but frequently out of stock. So that's unacceptable. That's something we'll immediately target when we come in and start this visit. And then she's also got an overview of one of these reviews here. And also she can see that a number of cocktails are being very poorly executed, including a Negroni served in a pint glass with some flavored gin, which is, again, that's suggesting some gaps in serve standards. So automatically I can see two things here. Number one, we're missing products. Number two, the bar staff need training on positioning our brand in the right way. It's also, as we can see, been 6 months since the last training session. That's explaining those inconsistencies in serve quality and brand advocacy. There's going to be some new staff here that need some help. Now, Ava's actually proposing what I should be doing for this customer. So let's do a refresher training. Let's introduce some of our newest products, the Aurelian Cask Collection. I've got the digital assets here for me to share, and also reinforce those correct serves, highlighting those premium executions. So all of our premium brands here, let's elevate the perception for this bar and ultimately for us to the consumer. And also we can consider some branded glassware and apply those immersive storytelling techniques that we learned from all of our sales kickoffs and sales meetings that we have. So before I've even started, Ava's telling me what I should be doing. She's giving me insights based on all of the information which is there for me to access, but Ava's just surfacing that in a really nice, easy to digest format. Now we're going to go ahead and start what's called an Aforza guide. And these are dynamic, guided surveys that are data-driven, that allow me to capture information and also surface information to me as a rep and guide me through the perfect visit with this customer. So I'm going to start this here. And immediately I can see there's an option to include if there's a drinks or cocktail menu. Now, in this case, there is. So when I select here, the guide dynamically tells me that I need to capture a photo of that menu. So I simply capture a photo here of this menu, nice and easy, and immediately it's uploaded for review. And also I need to capture a photo of the back bar. Let's see what our bottles or drinks are looking like on that back bar, how they're displayed. So I simply add a picture of the back bar there, and immediately Aforza and Ava has analyzed exactly what's going on in that photo. So I can open this and I can see some key insights around this photo. So there's that menu. If I open up the side tabs here, I can see the information, when it was uploaded, and all of this is reportable on by you, by managers, etc. I can see some key attributes like the location. I can see what visit it was part of. All of this is reportable on. And importantly, I can see our share of menu. So I can see all of the times that our specific brands have been detected on this menu against our competitors. And this is really easy to set up with Aforza Studio, and Ava. And I can see our whiskey here, which I can click into. I can highlight all of our specific brands. There's that Obsidian Vale 18, our whiskey that was mentioned in the reviews in that pre-Ava briefing. And I can see our gins and our other spirits and spritz that are available here. And of course, all of our competitors, which again, we can report on. So if you want to see where specific spirits competitors are in specific locations, you've got all of this data now. Now, importantly, I can see all this, I can understand all this. My management can see and understand this and do some analysis on it, but Ava understands it right here and right now. So when I go on to the next page, I can get insights directly from Ava about what I should be doing from those two photos that I've just uploaded. So if I click on the Ava Insights, she's analyzed them for me, in seconds, and she shows that photos are showing that Negroni are listed on the menu, but the core ingredients are not consistently visible on the back bar. So we can't see that they're available. This is aligning with the guest feedback around the inconsistent execution. We can also see that some aperitif and gin competitors are positioned at eye level, kind of in that back bar zone, whilst our brands are placed lower and they're partially obscured by glassware. We don't want that. We want them front and center. There's also no clear cocktail focal point. There's no highlights, and Ava hasn't seen any visible branded glassware to signal ownership of the occasion, which is what we want to drive that premium feel. So Ava then gives me recommendations. Ensure that our brands are fully stocked. Let's move them to eye level. Let's create a simple cocktail zone for Ambre Solstice Gin. Let's support fast and consistent Negroni preparation. So let's do some training. Let's add a small menu highlight or a table talker feature with clear pricing and even a tasting note to encourage trade up. Let's introduce some branded glassware for this customer or some bar-specific assets to strengthen visibility. Let's reinforce our premium positioning. And also, Ava knows that there's actually available budget for this customer. And that budget could be for a specific territory, for a specific chain of bars, whatever it may be. But Ava knows there is budget in this case for this outlet to get some branded merch and point of sale material to help with that cocktail experience and drive that higher premium serve uptake. Now, that's one format that Ava has come back, and that's just how I've configured it. If you want Ava to come back with, under 20 words, give me 3 bullet points of exactly what I should do, you can do that. It's so easy to configure this. No code is required, and Ava can respond in any language for any of your teams all around the world. So really nice and easy. So when we come off Ava's recommendation, we can see, is the customer interested or do they need a drinks making refresher? I think in this case, they absolutely do. When I click here, dynamic digital assets now appear for me to share with this customer. So, how to make a perfect Negroni with our specific brands here, or how to do one of our ombre spits, a signature serve for this particular customer. And also we can see, if I click on if the customer is interested in branded merchandise, we've now got all of this branded merchandise available. So there's this drinks tray, we've got a bottle hero for the bar here to get our products, front and center. We've got our own branded cocktail menu that we can support with, bar mats, whatever assets, whatever merchandise you want to share, you can do that within these Aforza guides. Now, before we finish on the demonstration, I'd like to show you Ava operating in a slightly different way up at HQ for planning for key account management. So what you can see now is me looking at that account that I just visited, so the Amber and Oak Bar. I can see all of our products that are here, promotional sales, all of these different insights that are available within Aforza at HQ. And actually, I can see there's some account insights here. So that's Ava surfaced on this account to give me some specific information for this as I'm going about my day planning or interacting with this key account. Now, if I click onto the promotions calendar, we can see that Ava has actually changed in the bottom right. So now it's giving me promotional performance information around this particular account. Now, if I come to the account plans for this customer, then we can see our volume forecast for the year. And you guessed it, again, Ava has changed. She has full context of what I'm viewing, and she can help me with this particular volume forecast or this account plan. So if I click on Ask Ava, it pops up and we can see that there are suggested prompts for Ava, for me as an individual to actually use. So we can see that the Amber and Oaks promotions, they're exhibiting revenue loss in this case. Perhaps we need to focus on this. We need regular visits for this particular customer. And I can see that there's some account plan objectives that I can ask for. And as soon as I click into this prompt, we can see that Ava is actually giving me a full overview of the revenue targets for this customer. All of the information I need is right here, and I can go back and forth with Ava, and she can help me do things like financial analysis, promotional modeling, whatever it may be. Ava can help every single one of those individuals that I showed in that introduction to Aforza slide. So key account managers, trade planners, field reps, as you've just seen, technical reps, brand ambassadors, whatever it may be. As you can see, Ava is everywhere. She permeates the entire Aforza platform. So let's just think of what you've just seen here. You've just seen Ava give me a pre-visit briefing. She's guided me to capture the right photos of the cocktail menu in the back bar. She's analyzed them and then given me a next best action. And why is this important? Well, this could be my first week on the job, my first week as a premium spirits rep, my first day even. But Ava is telling me exactly what I need to do. So not only is she really from the get-go elevating all of your new starters, everyone that's just beginning their journey perhaps with your brand and visiting your customers, she's guaranteeing a standard across everybody. And this is also freeing up your middle management, your team leads who might have to spend so much time, resources in getting team members up to a specific standard. They can now focus on perhaps more valuable tasks for you and for your teams, and really driving that premium brand across the entire territory. So it benefits me as a field rep because I know exactly what I need to do. It benefits my managers because they know that I'm executing at a specific standard, and ultimately it's driving efficiency and effectiveness across absolutely everyone in your organization who's using Ava and Aforza, and driving some incredible business results. Which brings me on to the final part. And I can see there's a lot of questions that have come in from the channel. We're about to get to the Q&A in just a second, but we have partnered with some fantastic customers of Aforza over the last few years, still going very, very strong. We're very proud to partner with Edrington and helping them drive a premium route to the consumer. So they have a complete connected planning to execution with Aforza, completely end-to-end, that covers photo automation, like you've just seen, sales execution, even CRM, which is a bread and butter of Aforza. And actually they've driven commercial excellence globally. So I think it's over 30 or 40 different markets of Edrington are now using Aforza, all around the world. And they're driving value for every single one of their field teams who are out visiting their customers in the on-trade, in the off-trade, wherever it may be. Now, don't just take our word for it. We are very lucky to have been awarded 13 best-in-class distinctions by the POI, which is the Promotion Optimization Institute. They are an external analyst that looks and does some very deep dive demonstrations and capability overviews across all the different vendors that exist in your space, in consumer goods, in premium spirits. So we're lucky to receive 13 best-in-class distinctions here. I think it's the most out of everyone they analyze. Completely external. There's a link to the report there if you want to see it for yourself. They do a full panorama of everyone involved. So as you can see here, we've got some fantastic awards that I must say are completely independent. So it's not us patting ourselves on our own back. Now, I promised that I would show you give you the link and the QR code to the Ava library. This is that catalog of vertical AI use cases for your industry. There's 100+ pages. I think it's growing every month as more and more use cases become apparent. We've got all of your commercial personas covered. It's instant on. It's prompt based and multimodal, so Ava can look at photos, videos, connect to other systems. It's not just a chatbot here. And as I just said, it connects to your enterprise systems with Ava tools. So you can connect to data lakes, to ERPs, whatever it may be, to get that right information at the right moment for your teams. So you can head to that link or hit that QR code right there. I can see there's a few questions that have come in during the webinar. Conscious of time, I'm going to answer as many as I can right now. So how quickly does the next best action response come back from Ava during a visit? Literally seconds. So the actions can actually be taken real time during the moment. Can Ava take actions directly or only recommend? Yes, absolutely. So Ava can take actions using tools and do things like perhaps create new visits or create a new predicted order or log a service ticket in ServiceNow. So she can do things in different systems, perhaps dispute a claim that might exist in SAP. So whatever your systems, whatever you have, please get in touch with us. We'd love to show you how Ava can connect to all of them there and drive value for your users right now. Another question there was specifically to AG Bar. What was the typical visit time at AG Bar with Ava? And what was it before? You said there was 50% productivity gains. Yes, so they had an average visit time of around 20 minutes for their field reps who were going in, looking at their products, speaking to the managers of those locations and getting their products on the shelf in a certain way. And that went down from 20 minutes to about 5 or 6 minutes, which left them with much more time with the customer to help with the brand, to give a really premium feel to their customers, and has ultimately led to a 50% increase in productivity. Another one here. Can I get a copy of the Ava library if I'm not an Aforza customer yet? Yes, it's completely, it's available for you now if you scanned that QR code. If you've missed it, then just head to the website and you'll see the Ava library. It's pretty front and center, so you can access that as you need. Another question here. How does Ava decide the next best action for a rep in a specific outlet? Great question. So that is actually down to you. So the person that's using Aforza and Ava, the Aforza customer. So we can help you do this, but you decide on what the next best action is. So what does your perfect visit look like for your brand, for example? So if your perfect visit looks like you always have your products that are displayed front and center, you have a meaningful conversation with the manager or the whoever's on location, depending if it's on trade and off trade, and you always present your latest products, or if you're doing orders, you're doing perhaps you're trying to upsell, or if you're just merchandising, whatever that may be, you configure that, tell Ava what that looks like, and even doing things like always speak with a professional tone, use emojis, always return in 100 words or less, 3 bullet points. You just decide that, you configure that, you kind of work with us, with Ava to get that, and that's how you get that next best action for the rep in that specific outlet. Great question. And it's really flexible, really, really easy to use. Final question here. I'm just very conscious of time. What data sources can Ava use to generate real-time insights? Really, I think pretty much anything. So let's think. Ava's a multimodal, so she can look at menu images. She can access reviews. If the APIs are available, Ava can connect to it and get that data. She can look at sales history within Aforza, within external systems like SAP or whatever other systems you might be using. She can look at photos. She can look at even contracts that are stored or PDFs. So Ava can understand all of those, and actually from there, with the right, configuration, so telling her how to generate the next best action, she can generate those real-time insights in seconds. So really, really fast. And ultimately, that's what this webinar has been about, is actually getting the real-time next best action in the moments that matter, which is so important within Premium Spirits. Now, that is all the time we've got for today for any questions. If you have any other questions, or if you want to see perhaps a specific demonstration for your use cases, for your next best actions, then please get in touch with us, reach out, and we'd be more than happy to do a demonstration, discovery session, whatever it may be. But let's get you using Ava, seeing value today, and solving all of those challenges. So thank you very much for joining, wherever it is around the world. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and hopefully we'll see you very, very soon. Thank you.